Yo guys, before we get into it, I just realized I had August up in the corner for the whole video. Just changed it to October. So yeah, enjoy. Yo, what is going on, guys? I just finished going through the last tier list video, which surpassed 69,000 views. Thank you guys for all the support on that, and over 300 comments. I just read through every single comment, made some adjustments to the list. I'm already extremely happy with where the list is, and I looked through the whole list, and I'm like, okay, I think it's in a really good spot. And then I read the comments, and I'm like, and I still made changes after that. I'm like, okay, now the list is in an even better spot, and that's what I like about doing this tier list. It's, you know, it's not just my tier list, it's my channel's tier list, our tier list. Everyone who watches the channel has put an input in the comments, that input has gone into this tier list to reflect how my channel looks at this game, not just me. I've made some changes that, you know, I wouldn't even make, but with a lot of evidence supplied by you guys, video links, good proper arguments, changes get made, and it's awesome, and I love it. So I appreciate all you guys' feedback on that. Before we get into anything, gotta give the standard disclaimer that, you know, this is not the Bible of MCOC. You know, this is just a tier list to gauge how good champions are, you know, off their utility damage, how they perform. But just because a champion is in a higher tier than another champion doesn't mean they're better than that champion in every single situation. This game is extremely matchup dependent. Everything nowadays is becoming such specific counters. So you want to bring in certain champions to do certain things. Just some high rated champions can kind of do more things. That's all. Okay, and also one other thing. So the orange text, anything that has the orange color means that there is a change, either an up or down. So some of you guys are suggesting we should make it red and green for that. But, you know, there's already, the skill class is red, the science class is green. You know, orange is this neutral color not supplied by any class. So that's why I chose it. And I like it. So let's go ahead and get into this video. Let's go ahead and start with the two latest champions added to the list, which will be Titania and Iron Doom. And then we'll go from the top and go class by class. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. So let's starting with Titania. I'm placing her in God tier. And guys, another thing that, like, we got to keep in mind that God tier is a good placement. Like, that is a good placement for a champion. And it's still very early on Titania. She is very unique. And I think Karate Mike said it perfectly, that, you know, if I was a science champion, I wouldn't, regardless, like, I wouldn't want to have to come out after Scorpion and Quicksilver. Like, those are two insane champs to follow up with coming out after. Like, she came out at a bad time, and she's very unique as well. Her ability to activate the haymakers to go unstoppable, unblockable, and indestructible, that's like the ultimate triple threat combo. Like, nothing can stop you when you have those three things. It's absurd. I think in the right skilled hands, Titania is we're gonna see her do some really crazy things. I think she has a lot of potential. And I think I definitely could see her going to the Beyonder tier in the future, but for now, for her debut, I'm just going to do the safe bet and put her in God tier. She's good. She has potential. So just going to put her here for now. And I do like her. And like I said, it's kind of like a situation with like Tigra, where, you know, in the right hands, she can do so much more than you would even think. I think that's going to be a similar scenario with Titania. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the new Iron Man Infamous, or Iron Doom, as I am going to be referring to him for the rest of my life in this game. Iron Doom, man, he is incredible. I mean, we all knew when as soon as we all heard like another Doctor Doom is coming to the game, I think we all had a pretty good feeling that like he was gonna be good, because the Doctor Doom we have in game has just been an absolute legend and top of the Mystic class since he came out. Well, a little bit after it took a bit for him to get substantiated as the best Mystic. But once that happened, like, it's been constant. Like, no matter what, like, Doctor Doom, it's absurd how good he is. Prestige, attack, defense, like, he just has absolutely everything you could ever want. And this new Iron Doom, I don't think he's as good as Mystic Doom. I think Mystic Doom is still a fair bit ways ahead of him. Especially as a defender. I think the mystical Doctor Doom is a far superior defender, which I think is a good thing. You know, we didn't want a copycat of Doctor Doom, and we didn't get that. We got a tech version that, you know, it feels like it pays homage to the original Doom, but it's still something like a whole new spin and whole new twist on the character. And I think they just knocked it out of the park with Iron Doom as far as his animations, his kit, his look. Like, I absolutely love the character so much. I want him so badly, dude. Yeah, so I think he definitely makes it into the one above all tier. He has phenomenal power control. His loop is a little bit different than Doom, but it can be better in certain scenarios. And he's very good at hunting mutants. So he's good at countering mutants. He's got cowardice. He's the absolute best Bishop counter in the game. And we already have Ghost and Kitty Pryde who counter Bishop extremely well. But this guy was literally created to be countering Bishop. It is just by far his best matchup. It's pretty cool. Not to mention, he also has Incinerate and Shock immunity with his armor up, as long as that's active. He also has a really fat regen if he's awakened, Max Sig, which he also has the highest prestige in the game. So, you know, it's worth giving him Max Sig and awakening. So yeah, he is just absolutely incredible, and I think most of you guys will agree that he lands in this one above all tier. If anyone disagrees, let me know. I'd love to hear why. It is still a little bit early, but I think he's that good. I had that much fun playing with him. I felt he was very powerful, and yeah, that's where I'm gonna put him. Okay, so those are the two newest champs. Now let's go ahead and start from the top in Mystic and go down. We'll talk about every champion that was changed. So in Mystic Class, we have two changes. So Guillotine OG Gilly, she got buffed, and the buff was underwhelming for sure. Then I think they buffed her again a little bit. I think they adjusted her regeneration rate or something. But I've been hearing some people say good things about Guillotine, so decided to move her up to God tier. Let me know what you guys think about that. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I think it's warranted. I think it was just a bit of a bad taste in my mouth with Guillotine after she got buffed, and it was so underwhelming. And Ant-Man at the time had lost the buff, who I really wanted and I thought was easily going to win the vote, but I didn't even vote, which I should have. So yeah, I don't know, just that kind of left a bad taste in my mouth, kind of like the Mole Man situation. But yeah, so put her in God tier. And then the Hood, man. The Hood goes from the Beyonder tier to the one above all tier. Now, why? Man, Hood has really, really been growing on me. He is just such a beast, and I think Battlegrounds has really highlighted just how good the Hood is, man. Like, such good buff control, such good damage output, with a really cool phase mechanic as well. And he's just, I find him so much fun to play. That more than anything, I find him extremely fun to play, man. So yeah, I think he deserves this. I know a lot of you guys, not a lot of you guys, some of you guys agree with this. I've seen some comments talking about Hood. I know Karate Mike is big on Hood right now, and I see it. I agree with it. So that's a Hood promotion. And yeah, those were the only changes to the Mystic Class. It's looking pretty good to me otherwise. We put Rincher up here, and I think that's aged even better now. I think Rincher definitely one of the top Mystic champs in the game right now. And I don't have him, which is kind of annoying. And I hate fighting him, but I cannot deny his power. I think that was a really good change, and yeah, he's looking good. So I think the Mystic tier list is looking pretty solid right now. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the Mutant Class. So we just had two promotions here. I think everything up top in these two tiers looks really good to me. All these champions in the Beyonder tier are really, really solid mutants, but I think every champ above them is just a little bit better or has a little bit more going on, and I think it works really well. A lot of these champions have a lot of damage, but they just don't have as much utility as a lot of these champions. I think that's really what sets them apart in the Mutant Class. Some people disagree with White Magneto being here. Guys, like, Guidance is so powerful, and he still counters metal champions. Not as good as Red Magneto, but Red Magneto counters it so good. White Magneto counters it still really good. It's just not as good because Red Magneto just sets the bar so extremely high. It's ridiculous. But man, White Magneto, yeah, I think he's an absolute beast. And some people saying they think Colossus should be moved up. I'm not the biggest fan of Colossus. I never have been. With all his synergies, you know, sure, he could be up here, but on his own, I don't really see people playing Colossus. I'm not saying he's a bad champ. The Beyonder tier is high praise for these champions. And then we had 2 promotions from the Demigod tier into the God tier. And these are 2 2022 champions. And that's partially why I moved them up, but also there were some comments asking for both of these promotions. Sauron and Captain Britain. Both of these champions, I didn't really... Well, I didn't play Sauron at all when he came out for the CCP. I didn't make a video on him. I never played him at all. Captain Britain, I didn't play her that much. So I just didn't really have a ton of experience with either of these champions. And I don't think they're like crazy, but I think they are a little bit better than I have been giving them credit for. On attack, Sauron is very similar to Omega Red with his immunities. So it makes him very Suicide Mastery friendly. And Captain Britain is really good. She has a niche. But the problem with a niche is that, you know, what makes a niche is that it's not common. So, you know, her niche is countering shruggers. So, Kingpin, you know, Agent Venom, these champions that will shrug your debuffs. She is made for those matchups. But she still can be good outside of them. Yeah, not a whole lot of change in the mutant class here. Yeah, alright, now let's move on to science. This is... A lot has happened here. The science class exploded here today. So, we have... This is a new color. So, the orange means there's a change in ranking. This pink here... pinkish purple means either like the best or worst in that tier. So in the buffable tier, it's the worst champion that needs the buff the most. In this tier, it is like the best champions, you know, Kitty Pryde. And now here that we have this new color. I didn't know what color to make it because this is a unique situation. So I put Quicksilver into the top spot of the science class, dethroning Human Torch, one of my absolute favorite champs in the game. And it was just really powerful in his own right. I think Quicksilver is that good. But the thing is I think Scorpion is also that good as well. And that's why I've been going so hard for Scorpion lately. He's by far been the champ I've been chasing the most. Now, when it comes to comparing Quicksilver and Scorpion, I think I should just make a video comparing them like I did Gallon and Hulkling. I think I should do that. The problem is that takes so much work. It takes days and days of work to make a video like that. But I think it would be a good idea because I think Quicksilver and Scorpion are both just so powerful. So I think the breakdown between them, how I look at them, is Quicksilver has more damage and more utility than Scorpion. But he's a lot better for longer fights. Whereas Scorpion has less damage, less utility, but still very strong in his own right, still very capable in both those categories of damage and utility. But where I think he has the leg up on Quicksilver is he's a lot faster for, you know, medium to short fights, and he can still do good in long fights. So, you know, on like a day-to-day basis, I think Scorpion is probably going to be a lot more useful for you. But I think in, you know, like Abyss, Quicksilver, you guys can have seen what he's done. He's able to get these millions of damage detonations. So I think, you know, once we have, what we need is that next piece of Everest content. You know, like when Abyss came out, that was perfect for Torch. That shined the spotlight on Human Torch, because when you build up his smolders past like 50, that's where he really starts to scale like crazy with his damage. So Abyss really highlighted how good Torch could be. And I think that's what that's what Quicksilver needs, is like a second level of Abyss, where he can do these millions of damage detonations. And it's, you know, because right now, for me, for example, like, there's not really anywhere where I need 1 million damage. You know, I'm not fighting champions that have more than 1 million health. Like, that's extremely rare. But the fact that he can do it, so I think we're just going to have Quicksilver and Scorpion both at the top of the science class. I think they're the 2 best science champs in the game right now. And again, that's why I would not want to be Titania, having to follow up, like I said, the 2 best science champs I think in the game right now. Like, of course, anyone's not going to look that good after coming out after Quicksilver and Scorpion. And then so we had some other changes. All promotions. So we demoted Thing, and now I re-promoted him. I took it back because Incursions are coming out very soon, and Thing might even move to this tier, just because of Incursions alone. They're getting a buff, and Thing is going to be the best champion in Incursions. After a certain point in the rooms, if your Thing is Sig 200, he will trigger protection on every single hit. Blocked hits, parries included. It is absurd. I really want to take my Thing to rank 4 Sig 200 for that reason, and I mean for Battlegrounds. But yeah. Then we had a Wasp promotion, and then this one was interesting. We had Joe Fixit and Anti-Venom get promoted. Now these are, again, two champions that I have very minimum experience with. So like it's very hard for me to rank them. There was two comments especially about Joe Fixit. These guys, Joe Fixit lovers, like they really like him. One guy provided video links, a lot of evidence, but I love that. I'm not saying that as a bad thing. It's a good thing. They gave a lot of evidence and supported their arguments for the promotion, and here we go. Joe Fixit got that promotion, and also Anti-Venom. I heard some really good comments about Anti-Venom, and plus I know that MSD loves Anti-Venom. And I trust MSD. He knows what he's talking about. So that's another promotion. And then another promotion from the Beyonder tier into the one above all tier, and that's Overseer. So man, I think Overseer is just absolutely incredible. I think the problem with Overseer was, you know, like myself, I can only really speak for myself here. I was so excited when I heard we were getting like a playable Maestro. Like I was so hyped. And he looks so good, but I was very underwhelmed at first. But his damage is really good. It's a different way to get damage that we've never really seen before. You know, once you build him up, you're dealing damage from getting retaliation from specials. You get some big bursts there, and then with light attacks, you spam light attacks when you're in cosmic mode. The damage is so good, man. Plus, you know, he's poison immune. He's immune to nullify. Just one of the best battleground champs. Absolutely incredible. I really want to get my Overseer awakened. If like Scorpion and Quicksilver, you know, didn't exist right now, I would have a rank 4 Overseer right now at Sig 200. I would have awakened him and taken him up. But the only reason I'm not doing that is because I have a main focus on Scorpion and Quicksilver first, because I do think they are better than Overseer. But I think Overseer 100% deserves to be in this tier. Very, very powerful champion. I don't think he's that underrated anymore. Still a bit, but when he came out, one of the most underrated champs we've seen. And again, I think it was because, you know, because he was Maestro and we were all really hyped. At least that's why I think I underrated him at first. Yeah, that's the science class. All right, let's go ahead and move on to tech. So yeah, we talked about Infamous Iron Man, and then, oh yeah, not really much to talk about here in tech. We just had one other promotion, and that was Guardian. So we took Guardian from Beyonder tier to the one above all tier. I've been looking at Guardian a lot more lately. But I think for him to be in this tier, he needs to be Max Sig. Because at Max Sig, Guardian just gets an absolute monumental amount of utility. Like, Guardian Sig ability is one of the most worthwhile things to invest in, like, in the game. Like, he gets bleed resistance, massive energy resistance, block proficiency. Like, it's crazy. And it's so high at Max Sig. It's ridiculous. So yeah, I think he deserves that tier. I'm definitely looking at Guardian more. I want to rank him up, especially for Battlegrounds. He can kill just so much stuff with one special 1, one special 2. Plus, he can be annoying on defense with that auto block. And on the reverse side, if you're using him on attack, the auto block could save you. So yeah, Guardian makes it into this tier, and I'm really happy to see him up here, man. And my Guardian's only Sig 20, so yeah, I need to give 186 to him. But I think I will have a rank 4 Guardian one day. The problem is just, you know, this new Iron Doom, again, these new champs, I just want to focus on taking up more than some of the old really beast champs that we have. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the skill class. Only 2 changes here, but some substantial changes. We had 2 moves from the God tier to the Beyonder tier. Or actually, sorry, I forgot this was a change as well. There we go. I forgot about Blade there. But all right, let's start with Jabari. So we moved her from God tier to Beyonder tier. I've been seeing some good stuff about Jabari. Saw a couple comments talking about her as well. And if you can set up her loop right, it can actually be pretty nutty with the bleeds and the ability accuracy. So yeah, give her a promotion. And then Misty Knight promoted her as well. Again, this is another situation where I don't think I've ever played Misty Knight at all. Yeah. I really, like, it's really hard for me to put her on this list. And the reason why I haven't played her is some of these champs, you know, I'm just waiting till I get them as a 6-star to then play them, because then I can make a video, and I just think it's more fun, like, when I don't really have a lot of experience and I'm kind of like learning a new champ. But like, I don't want to learn them like when I don't have them at a high level or like on the CCP beta, you know. So yeah, but I've heard a lot of really good things about Misty, seen some really good things as well. The guaranteed crits and just being unblockable, that loop just is crazy. And I've seen it on defense. It can be annoying to fight against as well. So yeah, I promoted her. And then I also promoted Blade. So, but I put here, he's got to be max sig, because man, if you have a max sig Blade, the regen, oh my goodness. I think Blade has maybe the best regen in the game. Like, I mean, you know, like Deadpool and Wolverine have a really good regen, but those are two, and Deadpool is basically irrelevant on attack. I mean, Wolverine as a horseman, there's some relevancy there, but he's 5-star locked. So yeah, never mind that even. But Blade, dude, I really want a 6-star Blade, counter those dimensional beings. The more and more champions lately are dimensional beings as well, guys. Blade is gonna make a comeback. Blade is about to make a comeback. I am telling you guys, Blade, man, he's coming back. I actually was just hearing news about his movie. He fired the director and stuff. So yeah, I hope they're making that movie really good. It sounds like Marshall Ali, the main guy playing Blade, he sounds like he really cares about the role. I think it's gonna be so good. But man, Blade's making a comeback, because think about this, man. Gallon, one of the craziest offenders released this year. Like Kabam he's gonna be able. Gallon is gonna be an absurd boss at some point. I can almost guarantee it. If given like created new, I've already thought of like nodes that you could create and give him that would just make him so busted as a defender. But Gallon's a dimensional being, so you know Blade's gonna be countering him. Spot, he hasn't even come out yet, is a dimensional being. Blade's gonna be countering that. Class advantage. Blade's making a comeback, guys. I'm promoting him now. And then a couple other changes. Oh yeah, also in the skill class, I moved Shang-Chi down. I don't think, now that I have a rank 4 Nick Fury, I think it's more cemented to me that Nick Fury is the best skill champ in the game. And then Cosmic. I think Hercules cemented as the best Cosmic in the game, and Cosmic Ghost Rider just not being able to compete a little bit as much because of his utility. You know, Cosmic Ghost Rider's got his damage stat is maxed, but utility, it needs some work. Gallon, though, that man has the damage and the utility. I think Gallon second in the class easily, only behind Hercules and only behind that Awaken ability, you know? And then we had a couple promotions down here. We had Ronin and Proxima. So, dude, Proxima, honestly, I hate the design of Proxima. Like, you know, you set her up and it's absurd. But that setup is so tedious and annoying, and like you can't even carry that over. You know, like some champions, they have tedious and annoying setup, but then they carry it forward. Like, you know, Captain Marvel movie, the first fight, you have no charges, it sucks, you gotta parry a bunch, boom, then you can carry that forward. Same with, you know, Cull Obsidian. Lots of champions, you build up this damage, Aegon. But Proxima, like, it's one fight. Like, it's just, I hate that design so much. Maybe if she had a synergy where she could carry over a completed mission or something. I don't know. But Ronin, dude, man, I love Ronin. 5-star Ronin was the best attacker in the latest Battlegrounds meta. Full of rank 4 6 stars. A 5-star Ronin was the best attacker, Sig 200. Like, Ronin is so powerful in the right scenario. In the right scenario, Ronin is one of the most powerful champions in the game. What are these right scenarios? Anywhere that there's a lot of buffs and the opponent can be stunned. And Ronin is your guy. He'll just stun lock infinitely. The more buffs, the longer the stuns, and the more buffs, the higher the damage. It's absurd. Ronin, really great champ, man, honestly. One of the most underrated champs in the game. You just need the right matchup for him. And then I finally did it. I finally bit the bullet, and I upgraded Corvus. But I put in brackets here with 1 charge. Corvus with no charges does not belong in this tier. But with a charge, sure. My biggest problem with Corvus is just, you know, I hate how you have to build him up. targeting, you know, certain champs. You know, you can't just build him up on any fight. That's my real issue with him. And, you know, Hercules, just a better version of Corvus. But yeah, with this in brackets, sure, I gave him the promotion. Make all the people that comment about Corvus happy. And yeah, so that's gonna do it for this list, guys. Sorry it took me so long to make this. I got sick with COVID, like at the time I was gonna be making it typically at the end of the month. So yeah, that kind of sucked, but it's all good now. And yeah, I'm really happy with where the tier list is at. Thank you guys for all the love and support on it. And I will be working on a Battlegrounds tier list next. Now that the season has ended, I have 4 weeks of metas that I've participated in. A lot of data. My deck stayed a lot of it stayed the same for the most part. So like I have a really good idea of some champs that I would really highly rate for pretty much regardless of the meta. So I'll be able to make a really good tier list for that as well. That's gonna do it for this video, guys. I really enjoy making these videos every single month. Gonna keep to it. Now it'll just be at the start of the months instead of at the end. You know, it's pretty much the same thing. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.